Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh here. Welcome back to another episode of Coaching for Coaches. If you're listening in live in the Facebook group, I want to say big welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself in the comments below. And I will be doing a drawing for somebody who is engaged live and or in the replay here on the Facebook group. I'll be doing a drawing for somebody to win a Dream Life Journal, which is the answer to how do you do what you do. In fact, when I was promoting up my network marketing chain, people would always say, all right, how do you do it? Tell me your secret. And in order to answer that, I wrote a book and a journal because I thought this is not just like a one-liner. You know what I mean? This truly is who you be before you do. And so the journal is something that you want to utilize after you figure out what you want and you're moving towards it. You've got to stay in the game. And that is what the Dream Life Journal is all about. So comment below, engage, let me know what your aha moments are. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your goals. And I look forward to drawing a winner. If you're listening on the podcast or YouTube, welcome. Glad to have you. Please be sure to join us in the group. We'd love to interact with you there too. All right. Oh, and if you want a journal and you want to just get one yourself, you can go to thedreamlifebooks.com, and you'll see my workbook, journal, and action tracker there. All right. So as you know, my name is Denise Walsh. I'm a clinical psychologist, a multi-million-dollar business owner, and the creator of the Dream Life Pathway. And this is what we're going to talk about today because the Dream Life Pathway is the system for overcoming self-sabotage and getting unstuck. Now, how many people do you know, literally, that are stuck in a job they don't love or stuck in old habits that they can't seem to break, often complaining the whole time? Maybe stuck in fear of making the wrong move, so they do nothing, right? One step forward, two steps back in this insecure, uncertain space, but yet a lot of times people live there. Or maybe they've got this chronic stress. They've got too many plates spinning in the air. Literally, they have too many plates spinning in the air, and all of them start to fall, you know? So many of us feel stuck, and we can feel stuck for months, weeks, or even years. I know people who've stayed in this restless, stuck feeling for decades. How about you? Share in the comments. And there's one thing about this, like staying stuck isn't about laziness, lack of willpower, or even not being motivated enough. It's not even really about the want. Okay, we'll talk through the want emotion in a bit. There's a reason why we stay stuck, and there's actually science and hard wiring that keep us stuck, that keep us in the familiar, even when the familiar isn't working for you. And once we understand how the brain works, and once we understand this science, we can finally stop blaming ourselves and start making real change. So today we're going to break down a few things. Number one, why our brain resists change, the three main reasons why we stay stuck, and what to do about it, and then how to retrain our subconscious to finally move forward. So who is this for? This is for you. We want to be the CEOs of our own life, right? We want to learn to lead ourselves. So when we're in this stuck feeling, this is when, at least for me, I often would outsource my decision making. I would ask other people, what should I do about my job? What should I do about my relationship? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And that didn't help me, right? Because when I'm outsourcing my authority or outsourcing my decision making, I'm not actually doing what I want to do, and I'm not actually getting in touch with my intuition or doing the things that I really want. You know what I mean? I'm not asking myself at the end of the day. And so for us to actually decide something and take action quickly, we want to build self-trust, not trust with outside people. We don't want other people to be the agency of us. Okay, so this is for you. If you are a CEO, if you are a mom, if you are network marketing, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are just like ready to make a shift in your corporate world, this is for you. Because 8% of people who set goals actually achieve them. So you want to be one of those 8% that actually Say you want something and then finally do it. The other type of person this is for is if you're a network marketing leader or you're a coach, this is for your team and your clients. Because guess what? They're signing up for your program. They're signing up to be a distributor on your team because they're ready for change and they are going to self-sabotage it, right? If you don't understand the psychology of change, you will be a less effective leader. But if you understand why people say yes to something and then immediately retreat, you are going to be the leader that helps them move past it and move into success. So let's talk about your brain resistant to change. Okay, so here's the reality. Our brain's number one job is survival. So it doesn't care, right, if you're happy, fulfilled, or living your dream life. It cares that you are alive. So to your brain, familiar equals safe, okay? And that's why we say like it becomes your normal set point. So even if your current reality is miserable, filled with chronic stress, exhausting, it becomes familiar and it feels safe. Your brain sees it as safer than stepping into something new. Now, I felt this several times in my life. One was when I was in clinical psychology. I got my first job. I was working at a local community mental health, and I knew I didn't want to work there anymore. I knew I didn't want to be there for 30 years, but I really didn't know what else to do. And so I did. I applied to other jobs. This is when I started outsourcing my authority. I would say things like, well, like I don't want to make the wrong choice. What should I do? I would even kind of outsource it to God sometimes, being like, God, what do you want? And then be like, I don't even know what you're saying. Like, I don't know. And so I did nothing. Okay. I did nothing. And I would say to myself, well, at least here I know the paperwork. What if the grass really isn't greener on the other side? And so I would stay where I was. I stayed there for 5 years. And this is why change feels so scary. Not because you're weak, but because your brain thinks new is unsafe. Okay? And when somebody signs up for your business, they're going through this same situation where they're like, I'm ready for something new. I want to get started in a business. I want growth, and I'll say yes. And then all of a sudden that fear pops up of who do I think I am? I'm not going to be successful. And we self-sabotage us back to what's familiar. This is at the root of staying stuck, is we would rather stay where we are, even if we don't like it, because it's comfortable, okay? But we don't have to. The good news is you can retrain your brain, and I'm going to teach you how to do it, number one, for yourself, but number two, so you can teach it to your team. Because that's the whole point, right? Is that we live in a world that is thriving and not a world that hates their life. That would be a beautiful thing. But if you're a network marketing leader or a coach, comment below how you've seen this play out with your people, where they say yes and then immediately they have buyer's remorse, or they freak out, or they have insecurity that pops up. I often see life popping up quite a bit when people say yes to a new thing, because all of a sudden, they aren't, I can't, they at least have a reason or excuse to not do it, right? Have you seen that? Okay, so let's talk about the 3 reasons why we revert back to what is familiar. Number 1 is these neural pathways. So our brain creates paths for every thought and behavior you repeat, and the more it's repeated, the stronger it gets. This is the neural pathways. This is what they say, what fires together wires together, right? It's because it's literally creating that same groove in your brain. And so staying stuck means that we're running on those same old mental loops. Again, not because we want to, but because our brain is wired that way. It just does what's fast and easy. Number 2 is our nervous system safety. So we do a lot of number 1, like shifting our neural pathways, getting out of stinking thinking, understanding why we're thinking the way we are, and intentionally choosing another way to think in 90-day U-turn. We also do a lot of nervous system safety in 90-day U-turn as well. So when you think about change, your nervous system can interpret it as danger, right? So when you step outside your comfort zone, instead of it feeling exciting, your nervous system goes anxiety, fear, freaking out, and you can get into fight or flight mode. Now, fight or flight mode means your blood goes from your brain to your limbs. You're not thinking as well. It goes from your system, like your gut, into your limbs, so you could run away from that tiger. That's what that fight or flight system is designed to do. It also releases cortisol and adrenaline and things like that. And so what we find is that if you believe that something new, or if your body believes that something new is dangerous, of course you're going to snap back to what is possible, or what feels safe. The other thing to consider is sometimes fight or flight mode feels normal. And so we're in constant chronic stress. We don't even know what peace feels like, which is why as soon as we're in a healthy relationship or a healthy job or we've got a great opportunity, we resort back to what we deem normal, which is fight or flight mode, which is chaos, which is drama, which is, toxic relationships. So nervous system safety is a really important one. Number one, you want your nervous system to feel safe normally. We want that to be our familiar. And then when we are intentionally going outside our comfort zone, we want to train our nervous system to trust us. And so there's exercises that we do that as we're stepping into fear, as we're stepping into that anxiety, we can calm our nervous system so it grows our comfort zone instead of retracts it. The third reason why we stay stuck is because of these subconscious beliefs. So deep down, if we believe things like, I'm not enough, I'll fail anyway, I don't deserve it, our subconscious will keep sabotaging us to prove those beliefs true. So if you think about it, you can want something, but if you're in your heart of hearts, you go, yeah, right? Guess what? Your yeah, right is what wins the day, because wanting isn't enough. Desire isn't enough. You can want something and still not take the necessary action to obtain it. So want is what we call an ignition emotion. It can light a fire, but it's not an implementation emotion. It's interesting, isn't it? So if you want is in contrast to what you believe, you will always default to your beliefs. So in 90 Day U-Turn, we really talk about this. What are our beliefs about ourselves, about our world, about what's possible? What was hardwired in our first 7 years of life? And what do we choose to believe now? Because our subconscious is running the day, but it can be shifted through repetition. So the good news is you can shift your deep-rooted beliefs and rewire your subconscious to expect and experience success. But it does take intention, and it does take community, and it does take somebody calling out your old patterns, the ones that you can't even see, and offering you a new perspective. That's what coaches do. And that's why I truly believe change happens in community. It doesn't happen on its own. If you could watch a YouTube video and be changed, you would already be there. It takes community, it takes intention, it takes practice, and we often won't practice the tricky thing without that community. All right, so how do we break free? Here's just one exercise, or one what's the word here? This is just one thing that you can do in 90 Day U-Turn. We talk about a lot of different ways and strategies. Strategies, I think, is the word. There's a lot of different strategies that you can use to retrain your nervous system and rewire your thought patterns and build your belief. It's 12 weeks of powerfully transformative exercises. However, here's one to think through that you can start utilizing immediately. Okay, so let's think about this. We are stuck in our comfort zone. So step one is to notice and become aware. So notice the loop. What happens when you start following up with leads? What happens when you post on social media? What's the fear that's happening? What's the thought that's happening? What is the story behind that thought? Notice what's going on. When you step into a new thing, how do you feel? What are you thinking? And what is the behavior and result of that? Okay, so step one is awareness. We can't change something we don't know we're doing. So step one is to notice that we're doing it. Step two is to calm our nervous system. So we utilize breath work, grounding, hypnosis is one we utilize a lot in 90 Day U-Turn. We have tapping. There's several different exercises, but we'll focus right now on breath work. So as you're doing the tricky thing, take some deep breaths, calm your nervous system down. Okay, and then you can move into step three, which is to change the subconscious story. So before you post on Facebook, so to say, or follow up with your leads. Let's do this. You're going to feel vulnerable when you start taking this new action. So instead, let's take a few deep breaths and let's use our affirmations, visualize people saying yes to you, ask things like, what if I can? Like, I'm going diamond. I'm getting $500 in volume today. I am getting 3 new customers. Like, let's build the belief that it's possible and that it's happening. And that happens through repetition, repetition, repetition. So while you're doing the new thing, or right before, we do the breath work, we calm our nervous system down, and we do the belief work to challenge our subconscious story. Step 4 is to take those micro steps to show your brain that this is safe. We can do it. On our team in network marketing, we do power hours where we're working together. Why? Because we will build new habits in community. So let's message people. Let's follow up with our customers. Let's post on social media. Let's create a reel. Like, let's do something new together, because then we'll be in that safe place. We'll build our confidence, and then we're more apt to do it on our own. This is what makes you a strong leader, you guys, is when you understand the fear that's popping up with your new distributors or your new clients. If you're a coach, right, you understand that fear of change and why they keep resorting back to what feels comfortable and normal. When you understand that, you can create systems around your team and around your program to help them build new skills, build their belief, and get out of their own way. Because we want them to hit their goals. When they hit their goals, we hit our goals. And so we know it's more than just declaring it. It's more than just a want. It truly is a belief. And we want to align that dream life pathway with what they want. They believe that it's possible, and they're learning the skill sets to make it happen. I think about my client, Amy, who was stuck in the loop of, I'm not ready yet. I don't know enough. I'm not sure. Guys, for years, we can stay stuck in this. She wanted to become a coach. She's a fitness trainer. She wanted to add on some coaching elements and do some online coaching and fitness, weight loss stuff. But she kept thinking that who's going to listen to me? I'm too young. I've heard I'm too old, but for Amy, she felt like she was too young. She's not ready yet. She didn't know enough. But once we retrained her subconscious and we held her accountable to taking small, consistent action, she literally launched her program within 3 months, made back her investment, and is continuing to run that program today. This is something that took her years to do. And within our program, she launched within just 3 months. So here's the recap. Your brain resists change because familiar feels safer than new. You stay stuck because of the neural pathways, your nervous system responses, and your subconscious beliefs. But with awareness, with nervous system work, and that belief work, plus that consistent new action, you literally can break free. You literally can. You do not have to stay stuck. You do not have to continue to self-sabotage. You were designed to live a life that you love. And remember, everything is learnable. Everything is you are not stuck in this way for the rest of your life. Even if you had a really tricky childhood, even if you have some trauma that has kept you stuck in those old loops, I have seen it time and time again, you guys. We can put the past in the past, learn from it, and create a life that we love today. Remember this, staying stuck is not proof that you're broken. It's proof that your brain is doing its job and it's keeping you safe by looping, right? But I know you don't want to stay there. And if you're ready to do this work with support, I'd love to invite you into our next round of 90-Day U-Turn. We do start this week. It's designed to help you retrain your subconscious, stop self-sabotage, and step into your dream life with confidence. So comment or DM me my turn and I will send you all of the details. And so for those of you who are in leadership or you want to start coaching, you want to learn coaching skills to help bring transformation to others, comment coach or message me coach and I'll give you the details for that. I hope that this was helpful to you. Please be sure to tag anyone you know that needs to hear this message. And share this group with anybody who's on their own growth-focused journey too. Until next time, remember, you're not stuck. You are just ready for something new. I'm going to hop on and see. Hey, Amy. Oh, good. Amy said yes many times. This has been her experience too. Happy Monday. Hey, Noelle. Hey, Lori. So glad to have you guys here live. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll be drawing a winner from those who comment, so please be sure to do so, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow. Have an amazing day, you guys, and I'll see you next week.